The human heart is an incredible organ, tirelessly pumping blood through nearly 60,000 miles of vessels, beating more than 100,000 times a day, and keeping us alive every moment. We often believe that as long as we eat right, exercise regularly, and avoid the obvious risks like smoking, our hearts will stay healthy. But according to Dr. Dmitry Yaronov, a heart transplant cardiologist at Stern Cardiovascular and director of the Advanced Heart Failure Program at Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis, some of the habits we consider healthy can actually be dangerous when taken to extremes. In his clinic, he sees a surprising number of young patients, people in their 20s and 30s, who appear fit, have few risk factors, and yet arrive with symptoms like chest pain, palpitations, or arrhythmias. What's even more surprising is that the cause often lies in their own wellness routines. The first habit that can backfire is overloading on protein. In moderation, protein is essential. It fuels muscle repair, supports hormones, and helps with satiety. But when people, especially athletes and bodybuilders, consume far beyond the recommended daily allowance, particularly from high cholesterol sources like red meat, full-fat dairy, or ultra-processed protein powders, the risks start to climb. A 2018 study showed that men aged 40 to 60 on high-protein diets, heavy in cholesterol-rich foods, had a 50% increased risk of heart failure. The excess strain on the kidneys can lead to inflammation, which in turn fuels cardiovascular disease. Dr. Yaronov has seen athletes with sculpted physiques but severely compromised arteries and weakened hearts because their diets lacked balance. He points to heart-healthy eating patterns like the Mediterranean diet or Blue Zones approach, where protein comes from fish, beans, and nuts alongside fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. The second, healthy, habit with hidden risks is drinking, but only on weekends. The myth goes, if you avoid alcohol during the week, you can make up for it with a few big nights out. But binge drinking, defined as 4 or more drinks in one sitting for women and 5 or more for men, can cause serious harm even if it's infrequent. Dr. Yaronov says some of the sickest hearts is treated in young people belong to weekend binge drinkers. One intense night can trigger arrhythmias, spike blood pressure, and increase the risk of dilated cardiomyopathy, a dangerous weakening of the heart muscle. Even if you work out daily and eat clean, those marathon nights of alcohol consumption don't go unnoticed by your cardiovascular system. If you do drink, spreading small amounts through the week is safer than packing it into one night. The third habit might surprise people who see cannabis as a natural alternative to alcohol: frequent marijuana use. Cannabis has been legalized or decriminalized in many places, and its use has surged, with some people swapping it for booze entirely. But a 2025 study revealed that heavy cannabis use is linked to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. While research is still evolving and often complicated by other substance use, Dr. Yaronov has treated many young patients whose only apparent risk factor was daily marijuana consumption. The assumption that cannabis is harmless because it's a plant ignores its potential cardiovascular effects. The concern isn't about occasional, moderate use, but rather the impact of making it a daily habit. The final habit is one we usually praise without question: intense, frequent exercise. For elite athletes, years of high-intensity training can cause what's known as athlete's heart, a structural adaptation where the heart walls thicken. This is typically benign, but in some cases it can mask dangerous conditions like hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. More often, Dr. Yaronov warns against the lifestyle around overtraining, sacrificing sleep for 5 a.m. workouts, living in a constant state of stress, and pushing the body without adequate recovery. Sleep deprivation increases inflammation, raises stress hormones like cortisol, and can contribute to high blood pressure and visceral fat, all of which hurt heart health. The problem isn't exercising, but pushing so hard that the body never gets to heal. The common thread in all of these cases, too much protein, weekend binge drinking, heavy marijuana use, and excessive exercise without recovery, is imbalance. In small doses, these behaviors may not cause harm, and in some cases, they can be beneficial. But in extremes, even good habits can become dangerous. Heart health is not just about looking fit or following the latest wellness trend, it's about sustainable routines that allow the body to recover, adapt, and thrive. Dr. Yaranov's message is clear. Moderation, variety, and rest are as important as movement and nutrition. You may look healthy, but the true test is how your heart is functioning beneath the surface. By understanding the hidden risks in our lifestyles, we can make choices that protect our most vital organ for decades to come. 1-minute YouTube short script: 4 healthy habits that can hurt your heart. You think you're living heart healthy? A top cardiologist says 4 common, good habits might be secretly wrecking your heart. Number 1. Too much protein, especially from red meat, dairy, and processed powders, can inflame your body, overwork your kidneys, and raise heart failure risk by 50%. Number 2. Weekend binge drinking. One wild night can cause arrhythmias, spike blood pressure, and weaken your heart muscle. Number 3. Daily marijuana use. New research links it to higher heart attack and stroke risk. Number 4. Overtraining without rest. Skipping sleep for workouts raises inflammation and stress hormones that damage your heart. Bottom line, looking fit doesn't mean your heart healthy. Balance, rest, and moderation are the real heart hacks.